I'm sipping my tea, focused on that inner me, protection of my energy from these brainless enemies. Self-care, get you some idea. You'll uncover from inside what outside cannot compare. We should all know ourselves a little bit more. We should all have a basis for the things that we adore. Out here mindless, blindness, tap, like this. Praying for the endless bliss, trapped in a social abyss. Got no idea where you going. Hope your following is growing against the waves you was flowing. Self-worth steady slowing. Outer world can't give you what you think you need. Focus on that inner self, then thy peace is guaranteed. Okay, maybe it's coffee, not tea.
Be less petty with your time. Be less petty with your mind. Be less petty.
What is up, my less petty pals? Welcome back to my channel, Be Less Petty TV with me, Kellye. And today I'm talking about why I prioritize self-care in my life and why you should too. In the early stages of becoming more aligned with what I wanted and being more loving on myself, some family members and friends just did not get it. It was like a foreign concept to them. And it was so easy for me to slip back into what they wanted for my life when I didn't make what I wanted a priority. So though the month of November is going to be all about dealing with family, we first must acknowledge and celebrate the prioritization of self. The simplest way to explain it, if you've ever flown, they make it very clear that in the event of an emergency, if oxygen is released, we must first put on our mask before helping anybody that is with us. The reason for this is because we are of no use to someone else if we ourselves are not okay. So again, the first step to dealing with family and unaligned mindsets is prioritizing your own self-care. I love my father to death, but he is a handful. He can be outlandish. He's super talkative, a trait I have, honestly. He listens-ish, but not well enough to hear, if you know what I mean. So when I know I'm going to be around him, especially for long periods, I gear up. I may do longer meditations that morning. I may take a bath the night before so that I can get a really good night's sleep. Most times I don't expect anything. I don't expect him to understand me or agree with me. And if he does agree with me, that's great, but I don't expect it. My only expectation is for myself to stay centered, to stay chill. All of these things affect how we show up. If you're tired, if you're irritable, if you're stressed, if you're expecting, then being around people, especially family members with a different mindset, is going to be very difficult. So prioritize your self-care. I am so serious about my self-care. And because I'm an artist, I will say I have the flexibility of making my own schedule for the most part. And I've gotten to a point where I don't take meetings, calls, auditions, nothing before 12 noon. Like, I prioritize myself from the time I wake up at 7 until noon. I do yoga, I meditate, I write, I cycle, I weight train, I eat, I water and tend to my plants. I care for myself literally every day. Some days I don't even go on social media during that time. And in the event that I have to do something that interferes with my self-care, I plan for it. So like if I got to take my grandma to the doctor, I may wake up a little early and chant and do everything I know that's going to help me make that day flow a little easier. It's also important to remember that self-care is not selfish. That is a misconception, okay? In fact, it's selfless. By keeping calm and centered in my own space, I can help keep unnecessary toxic energies at bay. So I'll say it again. Prioritize your self-care. And I've mentioned some tips already, like meditation, good night rest, non-expectation. But something else I do that helps me regardless of who I'm going to be around is setting my own intentions beforehand. So if I know I'm going to a family function and that cousin is going to be there or that auntie is going to be there, I set an intention for my behavior because I can't control nobody else, but I can control myself. So I set an intention for myself to remain calm, to be willing, to be open. And if we happen to get in an uncomfortable conversation, I remind myself of my intention. Sometimes I'll even set little phone reminders while I'm there to go off so that I can remain calm and remain open and remain willing. And by being open and willing, even opposing ideas don't affect me the same way because listening doesn't affect me. I can listen and not agree. In fact, setting intentions are great for anything. I sometimes set intentions during my day so that when I wake up, my kids or my husband don't affect me in certain ways because I've already set the intention. And I notice the difference when I don't. So again, prioritize your self-care. And I can honestly say that by prioritizing my own self-care, it kind of creates a domino effect. Like my kids and my husband do the same. My husband started meditating because of me. So you never know who you're inspiring when you are truly prioritizing your self-care. And lastly, please be compassionate with yourself during this process. Do not beat up on yourself because you didn't keep your intention or you're falling out of your routine or you got frustrated with a family member. At the end of the day, you're still human and you still operate from habits as we all do. And they're difficult to break. So as you continue to build new ones and you prioritize yourself, it will become easier and easier to do. Be easy. Be compassionate, okay? We'll dive into like more family issues, things like when boundaries aren't respected or when there's deeper pains like abuse or loss in the coming weeks. But for now, I really just want you to think of ways that you can beef up that prioritization of self. I cannot say that enough, okay? Prioritize yourself. I really hope this video helped. If you have any specific questions about family-related issues, please email me at family@belesspetty.com. If you are not already subscribed to the channel, I invite you to do so right now. I'm your girl, Kellye Howard. Be easy with yourself. Prioritize yourself. And always be less petty. Because most shit, it's just not that serious. I'll see you all here next week. Bye.
Be less petty with your time. Be less petty with your mind. Be less petty with your blame. All that petty shit is lame. Be less petty with your friends. Love first. Make amends. Be